You have to work with other people. And sometimes you don't want to. Sometimes they are in your face. God, I'm talking to myself too. But you still have to work with that person. So you have to lean over the shoulder and see what the result is that you want. You have to be the adult and you have to let it go, because I can't run a race carrying your bags, my bags, and everybody else's bags.
I'm Dr. Kathy Martin, and I am living proof that with Sharon Combs, Coach Shay, and UCVI leadership, processes, and strategic avenues work.
Hey girl, hey, how y'all doing? This is Sharon Combs with Be the Clay. This is just where we look at transition, truth, being molded into who God has created us to be. Also, because everything I do is going to have a leadership bent, it's going to have something about thinking on purpose and being deliberate and intentional in your thought life. All those angles will be hit. But mainly it's kind of just me having a conversation with you. And, put your comments down below or let me know some things you want to talk about. Sometimes I'm solo, sometimes I'm not. But if it has to do with identity, life applying pressure, because life can be life, and we are going to talk about it. We'll be honest about those things, about the battles, the breakthroughs, the bruises, the bruises, because life comes with all that. It's not perfect. So I want you to lean in, breathe, lean in, and hopefully we can be intentional, one conversation at a time. Now, today's conversation, guys, is going to be about gossip. For the most part, it's going to be about gossip, gatherings, and guarding your integrity, especially throughout this December time. A couple of weeks ago, somebody brought me something, and it was something that I hadn't heard of or about like for months. But when the initial thing happened about a year or so ago, it was some stuff. And I was like, this is character assassination. Oh, what was me? I was going through it, y'all. I was going through it. I was hurt. I didn't want to get out the bed. I was talking to my friends like, why are they doing that? It ain't fair. It ain't fair. It ain't fair. But you know what? Life ain't fair. I thank the Lord for taking me through that journey and from tearing me from things that and separating me from something that maybe didn't have my best interest in mind. I did hate the fact of how it went down, and that, some relationships were just changed based off deceit and falsehood, not on my part. But yeah, all of that. But I was I was on the other side of gossip. And when you're visible and you're on the other side of gossip, man, people bring stuff to you and ask you questions, and you actually are hurt. So you kind of want to, you want your lick back. You want to fight fire with fire, but you got to go home and you got to pray and you got to lay down with whatever actions you take, And I don't care what anybody says. If your heart is really to serve the Lord, not your perfect, but something in your heart. David should have been in war and he ended up sleeping with somebody else. But something in his heart is like, God, it didn't sit right with him. He like, let it fall on me. Don't let it fall on the people. I digress. Those of you who know scripture, you kind of know what I'm talking about. It's hard to sleep when you've done something to hurt somebody and it's wrong. Not the type of hurt where the rod is, helping you to walk right or be healed or something like that. But just a hurt that's still kill, destroy type of thing. When you're over there with the accuser of the brethren. And so gossip is not cool. It is not something that you really want to. It is not something you want to be the recipient of, and it's not something you want to be a carrier of either. And that's what I want to talk about today, because it's December. I want you to guard your growth. I want you to choose integrity throughout this holiday season. Choose integrity. Like, I know it may taste good, like, ooh, such and such, but choose integrity. This is a necessary conversation. This is something that is necessary for us to do, because the holidays are holidaying. We in a crazy political atmosphere. We're going to have parties. We're going to have potlucks. We're going to have work events. We're going to have family gatherings. People can have strong opinions. I myself am opinionated. Strong opinions, but you want to be mindful and be intentional. Guard yourself. People are going to be drinking, losing their discernment. What? Get a little tipsy in there and start asking questions they don't have no business asking. No business asking. That is not your business. And you don't even have the relational equity. Y'all ain't cool like that. You know what I'm saying? Have you even talked to this person? Have you even talked to me? Have you talked to that person? Do you know how they're doing? Do you know what's going on with their life? What has their year been like? But you want to get drunk and ask some super personal and inappropriate questions. All of that stuff is popping off in the holiday season. Okay. It is popping off. I hope it doesn't happen to you, and I hope that you're able to avoid it and protect it from it. But for the majority of individuals in this country, they're going to have something like that. Already people miss Thanksgiving because they just like, I don't want it. I don't want it, because there's schisms. Gossip creates schisms. It creates division. It fuels jealousy. I remember asking, I was like, just praying in my prayer life where I journal. I was like, Lord, why are people jealous? You know, like not a godly jealousy, but just like, what is that? And how does it get to so many different individuals? And I feel like the Lord was like, it travels by gossip. It travels by gossip. Those seeds grow up. They grow up and they begin to reproduce after their own kind. And that thing, gossip, is something that steals, kills, destroys, tears down in the wrong way. It's nasty. Gossip is nasty work. You hear me? It's nasty work. And we don't want to act like we having prayer requests when it's really gossip. It's nasty work. And it sets a lid. It sets a cap on your growth. And it sets a cap on your spiritual fruitfulness. Message. I'm going to keep on off that. Okay. So gossip is coming, y'all, and it's dressed for the parties. It's ready. It is ready. The truth of the matter, though, is so many of us have more yesterdays than tomorrow. So you don't have time to fool with gossip. You don't. You don't have time to engage in that. It's too expensive. You could be putting your creativity towards something else. Gossip is dangerous, and you want to be able to shut it down with grace. Number one, how do you protect your clay and what God is shaping in you and building in you, both internally and externally, when gossip comes your way? The first thing you do is you recognize gossip distorts characters, theirs and yours. All right, theirs and yours. There is something that is called trait transference. What that means is if somebody is saying something, like if you become a carrier of negative conversation and people begin to transfer the negative traits of that conversation to you, even though you're just a carrier. And so, listen, don't do it. It distorts your character. I done got excited and started talking fast. Let me slow it down. It will distort your character and it distorts their character. So it's not information. It's like contamination. And this is really, we talk about being the clay. You know, the clay has to be smoothed out. Those impurities come out of the clay. You don't want to have to you don't want to have to do stuff longer than necessary. Do you? I don't. And so gossip is like contaminating you with somebody else's perspective based off their unresolved issues, or the fact that they don't know they're carrying misinformation. You know, originally the source of it probably was disinformation, which is intentional. And now other people are just carrying that fire from one place to another, one place to another. And so how you can navigate that, if somebody's bringing it to you, you can just say, hey, I prefer to experience people firsthand. You know, I have a niece, she says that. I try not to, you know, so many of my relationships are third party. I really want to get to I really want those relationships to be those relationships, like kind of stand alone. And besides that, maybe somebody was 6 or 7 years ago kind of messy or something, but maybe they've grown. And so you want to give them grace to grow, you know. So if somebody is bringing you some gossip, practice in the mirror. I prefer to experience people for myself. Yeah. You can do it. You can do it. Practice it. You can do it. I prefer to get to know people for myself. You know, if they're not an axe murderer or a serial killer or, you know, a scammer trying to get all social security numbers so they can have your house or something like that. You know, if it's just you don't like them or you heard something about them that you haven't even verified or anything, like, kill that man. Don't carry that mess. Don't carry that mess. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. So when you say I prefer the experience to get, you know, to know people for themselves and get to know them by myself, that's clear. It's grown, and people will usually stop mid-sentence. Now, if you say that to like a professional gossiper, somebody who just like to be petty, and we all have them in workplaces and church places, and in families, they may go somewhere and talk about you. They were going to talk about you anyway. But just because they're doing something doesn't mean you have to engage in it. All right? All right. The second thing is gossiping is like planting seeds. And those are not the seeds you want to plant. They reproduce after their own kind. That's not the harvest you want. You hear people say, I don't want that smoke. You don't want that harvest. You don't want that fruit. So seeds turn into fruit. Gossip fruit is rotten. It's rotten. And here's the thing, fruit is expensive. At the grocery store, you want to go get you some little blackberries and strawberries and all that. It's expensive. And now you're going to let rot get all over it and mold get all over it because somebody brought you some mess and you're carrying it. God forbid if you're the person starting it. Let go of gossip. Maintain your integrity. You work real hard. You want to see the benefits in your life. You want to see things come to fruition that you want to see come to fruition. So do not jeopardize what you're working on for the sake of gossip. I know T be like, ooh, clock it, and all the shows like, girl, look, you know, all this. No, y'all, it is damaging. It is kicking a ladder out from under you that is helping you to reach the things you want to reach. Gossip is dirty. It's nasty work. It's nasty work, y'all. It's nasty work. So you just say, hey, look, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want that smoke. I don't want to be a part of planning this. Thank you. I'm just trying to help you out. Okay. Thank you. You know, keep it with grace. You ain't got to be like, you ain't trying to help me. No, they probably are. They probably aren't really trying to help you out. The person who brought me some stuff a couple of weeks ago, I know they just didn't want me to be surprised about what other people were saying. But I'm like, listen, I dealt with that stuff a year ago. And I finally started breathing clear about like 6 or 7 months ago after that, you know? I don't want it. I don't want it. Sometimes if the enemy can't get access to you, they would try to give gossip or something to somebody that does have access to you to try to tie you back to that event, to that thing. No, move forward, focus forward. And so you just tell them, hey, I don't want to be a part of planting this. That's it. Another thing with gossip is it's going to make you a co-signer to somebody else's wound. I can't speak for 100% of the people, but most people don't like to watch somebody hurt or be in pain. You know, maybe clinical narcissists, you know, serial killers, sociopaths, things like that. Maybe they do. And I know people say hurting people hurt people. But I don't believe the majority of people take joy in creating destruction and hurt and pain and anguish for other people. So with gossip, that's making you a co-signer to somebody else's wound. You know, just think about that, how that feels. Somebody is gossiping about you, talking about you, lying on you. That's hurtful. It's hurtful, man. And it's not hurtful like a quick thing. Like it can be a real wound. You don't want to co-sign that, you know? You don't. And so if somebody's bringing it to you and you know that the person bringing it to you is mad and they're hurt because something didn't go their way, and so they kind of venomous now, they're trying to be vindictive and have vitriol and they want vengeance to be theirs instead of the Lord's, gracefully. You know what? Instead of telling them you don't want it, if it's somebody you like and you love and you want the best for them, tell them, you know what, it sounds like you're hurt. You know, maybe you can walk them through some things. Maybe you can offer compassion, comfort, insight. Maybe you can just encourage them that this too shall pass. But when you say that, you know, hey, sounds like you're hurt, you want to talk about it, and you open yourself up to talk about it, about the thing that is hurting them, not about the people. That's a way that you can diffuse gossip also. And so that's a very helpful way, because the holidays do kind of bring out pain in people, especially because you're going to be around people who may be the root, maybe visually seeing them as part of the root of the thing, but we don't always know the motive, so to speak. So when you're agreeing with somebody else's gossip, you're agreeing with their perspective, not necessarily the truth and not necessarily your own. Do not take somebody else's glasses so you can see people like through pain, because it's going to jack you up spiritually, physically, everything. And God doesn't play about discord. One of the 7 things he hates is gossip. Yes, it is. it's gossip. So just be mindful. That's all I'm saying, y'all. Be mindful. The Bible doesn't sugarcoat it. Proverbs called gossip. It speaks on it. You know, even when it talks about I think it's Psalms. It may be Proverbs. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to this. Hold me to what I'm saying, not necessarily the location. But when it talks about learning about the fear of the Lord, which is the beginning of wisdom, and God loves people who have the fear of the Lord, all that, it says keep your tongue. You know, keep your mouth from speaking craziness. God doesn't play about it. I don't want to fight God, not knowingly, not willingly, you know. I want to lean in. I want to yield. I want to be pliable. I want to, when he put his hand on me, I want to move with him. I don't want to be trying to fight him while I'm on the potter's wheel. You know what I'm saying? Listen, gossip will jack you up. Don't let it get you. Don't let it get you. And also, why you don't want to engage in gossip is you're not anonymous. You know how many people, I hate it. It's kind of disgusting to me. You know, I'm gonna tell you this, but don't say nothing. I'm gonna say something. No, don't say nothing. They gonna know I told you. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something. You know, I'm gonna say something, especially if it's somebody who is walking with me like this. Because here's the deal: what if you're lying? What if it's a misunderstanding? What if what you took away isn't what they meant? Also, I don't want you to keep bringing me stuff because then I got to navigate it. They slimed you and now you slamming me. No, come up here, come up here, come up a little higher. We have to have discernment, guys. We have to have discernment. So you're not as anonymous as you think. When you come and you bring somebody something, let me tell you what she said. You think that's a secret. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. It's not. People know who the messy people are in their life, whether it's at work, whether it's in your house. We all know who carries the mess. Think about right now. Some of you work in sterile processing, some of you work in certain schools. I guarantee you, you know who the messy person is, who always got some tea, always stirring something up and in somebody else's business. It's not. You're not anonymous. Gossip circles, they always circle back. It always circles back. Gossip is a cycle. It always circles back. And so if you don't want to engage in it, here is how you can respond. And just ask yourself, what would I do if that person was right here? So if I'm talking about Angelique, what would I do if she was right here? If my conversation would turn or I'm uncomfortable, or I wouldn't say it because it has to be under cloak of night, then I don't need to say it, period. Feel free to use that method yourself. If you won't say it around the person you're speaking about it on, then just don't say it. Just don't say it. Because gossip messes up your integrity. It undermines your integrity. It erodes your integrity. Not just for the people who know you gossiped, but even for you. Because if you're always gossiping, it's going to make it hard for you to trust somebody else. It's a spiritual boomerang. It always comes back. And again, you don't want that, guys. You don't want that. People may laugh with you. How do I say this in a good way? People may laugh with you when you're gossiping. They won't trust you. They may laugh with you, but they're not going to trust you, right? They may share with you, but they won't respect you. Gossipers, people who gossipers, they get labeled fast, super fast, super fast. So let's just keep it professional. If somebody's bringing you something, they had a couple of sips, let's have some eggnog at the Christmas party. Let's keep it professional. If you are conflict avoidant and you actually don't want to say that, guys, I don't care if you go to the bathroom 17 times. I'm going to go to the restroom. Oh, I see somebody, you know. Oh, I see Angie. I need to go say something to Angie. Like, just put distance. Get away from it. Get away from the mess. Get away from the mess. Gossip will attract a weak bond. It'll have you bonded and connected to somebody that you don't even like. I just said they won't trust you. They won't respect you. You won't trust them and don't respect them. So now you bonded and you are connected and in the circle. You sitting at the table with the people you don't even want to sit with because you have engaged in that foolishness with them. I'm just going to let that sit there, right? I'm just going to let it sit there. I'm going to let that breathe. I'm going to let it breathe. You know, How hard is it to say, hey, you know what? Let's talk about something productive. How hard is that to say? Let's talk about something productive. You know, I know we're in December and Thanksgiving's over, but hey, let's say what we're thankful for. Let's go over what's it called? Let's go over a pre-list of what our New Year's resolutions are going to be, or some things we want to see improved in the next year. Let's go over some things like that. You can change the trajectory of a conversation, but you want to guard your integrity. Guard it, guard it, guard it. Let that breathe there. I think I have like a couple of more points. You don't want the weak bombs. Say, let's talk about something productive. When you're going to these work events and to these Christmas parties and things at church, be intentional. Be available for what the Lord may want. He may want you to encourage somebody, give somebody a hug. A right word in due season can just, it can bring hope. It can make people breathe better, breathe easier, you know, be encouraged. It can lift depression, a right word at the right time. And so you want to do that. Be intentional. Avoid the messy conversations. Look at the connections you want to have. Go and have those conversations. Even if you are just standing in the circle listening to the connections you want to connect with. Now, if they gossiping, that ain't what you want. That ain't what you want. That ain't what you want. Move somewhere else. And you get to decide. You get to decide what type of connections you want. You get to decide who you want to be around. You get to decide what type of person you want to be. And I hope you want excellence. The last thing I want to say about this is gossip actually trains you. It trains your mind. You guys see Think on Purpose over here. You know, I'm big on mindset, being deliberate and intentional. You can actually train your thoughts to serve you and not vice versa. You can create new thought patterns, new grooves in your mind. Go ahead and study it. Metacognition, thinking about what you're thinking about. And if you don't like it, you can replace it. You don't have to retain things you don't want. Along those lines, gossip will train your mind for lower level living. I'm going to say it again. Gossip trains your mind for lower level living. Your thoughts, your words, your attention, and your energy go where you feed them. You hear me? What you focus on, you gravitate toward. What you focus on, you gravitate toward. And gossip trains your mind toward like judgment, negativity, and assumption, not growth. Guys, I'm not exempt from any of this. I truly believe the reason I pen books like this, and these are the things that come to me when I study the word and when I study human behavior and when I study leadership, that's God's grace protecting me from maybe familiarity or strongholds from when I grew up, so that I could experience the good of the land, you know, and not jack everything up. And so that's why I believe he shares these things with me, and also to share them with others. You know, I know I'm a bridge. I know I'm a bridge, and I know that I'm an opening to help bring others. I don't care when they pass me. Just get out of where that was. You understand what I'm saying? Even this, talking about gossip. Gossip trains you for lower level living, and you don't want it. Peep game. Your mind is for purpose, not pettiness. Please don't be team petty. I know it's socially like acceptable, and I'm not having grace for that, and those type of things. Listen. The natural mind is at enmity with the Lord. You can't have a foot in both camps. I've experienced trying to have it. I don't want to tell you what to do or what not to do, but I can tell you that it is not fruitful in the way you want it to be. You know, it's double-minded. We don't call it that because we're so used to just, you know, putting God in his spot on Sunday or on Wednesday or a Bible study. But all day, every day, he's the Lord. And all day, every day, he's sovereign. And all day, every day, he's like omnipotent. And all day, everywhere, he's everywhere. Period. Let that gossip stuff go. It's going to train you for lower level living. It's going to train your mind to look toward things that are opposite, fear-based, judgment-based, opposite faith. You want to be faith. Faith on purpose. Think on purpose. Faith on purpose. Love on purpose. Hope on purpose. Look at things like that and let those things operate in your life. It is going to be beneficial for you and for those who are around you. It's craziness enough. It's craziness enough. Just watch the news. You know, it's craziness enough. So yeah, I just want to, for me, my mind is for purpose, not pettiness, not payback. It's for purpose. It's for purpose. If you love pettiness, I encourage you to ask yourself why. Because it's like gossip. It may taste sweet. Clock it the tea. It may taste sweet going in, but when it's in your stomach, it is sour. Same thing with pettiness. You're like, oh, that was petty. Nobody was lifted up behind that, you know? Just because you tear somebody down or you like got my leg back, it doesn't lift you up. Not sustainably, not long term. It doesn't even change anything in your life. It's low level fruit. It's low hanging fruit, guys. It's low hanging fruit. Love you guys so much. That's it. My mind is for that. And then you can change the subject. I'm trying to think of what else I may want to share with you before I get off of here. Again, we stuck this in. So this is an impromptu but necessary conversation. People remember when you gossip, especially in the workplace, especially in leadership. You want to be not just a source of entertainment, but you want to be a source of excellence as well. And gossip is, again, that gas is going to fuel division, unnecessary destruction, chaos. You want to protect your future from that. Protect your friends from that. Protect. Protect the company culture from that. Protect. You're better than that. You're better than that gossip. Who you're becoming and who you're building and crafting with the Holy Spirit's help, you to be is better than that. Do not come down from being seated. Do not come down from being seated in heavenly places to scoop down for some mess and for some gossip, for some, yeah. What is it for? What is it for? What is it for? It's like eating marshmallows. It may be fun and your cheeks get puffed out, but there's no nutritional value. It's not helpful in any way, shape, or form. So that's all I have for you guys today. Y'all be safe, be kind to somebody, not for wealth or fame, but because it is a good thing to do. Also, I hope you enjoy your holiday season. Be mindful. It's a lot of things going on in the world. So just be mindful, be aware of your surroundings. If you can help somebody, help them. Pray for people. Maybe you don't have extra finances to give them, but pray for people. Say a kind word to somebody. God is shaping you still, even in December. So while gossip is trying to pull down and tear other people down, I want you to be actively engaged in coming against it, to lift people up. Okay? Be actively engaged to lift people up. You don't know the roots. You don't know the motives. You don't know what people have been through. And don't let somebody else's disdain create a disdain in you. All right? Fearfully and wonderfully made. Yeah. That's all I got, guys. Y'all be safe. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Wonderful. And again, there is a worksheet. All of the podcast episodes, most of them are going to have worksheets underneath for you to just kind of work through. They're very short, but it is helpful for you to be able to see and look at something. Also, when you're writing, it actually transfers better to your brain than just only listening. So let it go in your ear gate. Let me go in your eye gate, and then write that thing down. You know what I'm saying? So it can be settled in. It can transfer from your short-term to your long-term memory, and maybe God can breathe on it and give more revelation. All right. Lies need your participation. The truth doesn't. That's it. Oh, wait. This is what I want to say. Oh my gosh, this is what I really wanted to say. Gossip, it does have to do with your reputation. But when the person had brought the information to me, and then some more information, like 2 days later, something else was said. And I was like, what is this? I said, you know what? I really felt like the enemy didn't want me to go and have family time with my family over Thanksgiving. And last year when it was going on, I did not have the capacity. I was wounded. I was still bleeding everywhere, confused, like what is going on? So I just was been like, Lord, I don't know. I can't even say I was praying. I was just like some calling out, Father, help me. I was distraught. Like I was shook because I didn't expect it with the people that it happened with, right? And so I was kind of blindsided. A couple other people, one, I was used to it, but the other one, I didn't even care or trust because they were not in my circle. But the people in my circle, I was just like, oh my God, you know. And so there's a lady who's a colleague of mine, and she was like, well, don't you read your Bible? I said, yes, I read my Bible. She said, well, it's always the family, you know. But I understood too that God was like, hey, you've placed your identity somewhere that I didn't place it. That's an assignment. That is not who you are. It is a role. It is an assignment. And so there was a rip and there was a tear there. But anyway, so when the person was bringing it to me during this season, just, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I just come out of prayer at church, just different things. And I was like, man, this thing is circling around. And because I know about spiritual warfare, I do know that there are things that are like anniversary spirits. They come around on the anniversary of whatever event, be it a death or something traumatic, come around to try to remind you and keep you stuck. You don't have to be stuck. This is what I'm saying, guys. I have more yesterdays than tomorrow. I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be stuck, period. I want to keep moving forward. I want to keep progressing. Whatever he has for me, I want that. So I don't want to be stuck. And I was like, man, the enemy really trying to get me with this. But by God's grace, God is so faithful. He had kind of prepared and was like, hey, no, like he was giving me these answers. When it came, it was like, boom, shield of faith was in place. You understand what I'm saying? Belt of truth, don't tell a lie. Walk in peace, don't be tit for tat. All of these things, man. I was like, yes, thank you, Lord. So today, you guys are getting this on a Tuesday morning, but today when I left service, one of the things that hit me was like, people talk about you because if they talked about themselves, nobody would really listen. And maybe even less people would care. And it just kind of just was like, because last year I was like, well, why are they talking about me? Not fair. You know, just all of this, woe is me, like the martyr type thing. And the Lord is like, hey, you know, if you run with the footmen and they weird you, how are you going to deal with the horse's daughter? And I'm like, you sure right. You sure right, Father. You are so right. And so I just want to let you know, when people talk about you like that, it focuses on you and it includes you, but it really ain't about you. That's about something within them. That's something lacking in them. And they need to talk about other people to make them feel validated or to make them feel more. Or maybe sometimes it's so that if they can keep the light on you, the light won't flash on them. And then they don't have to deal with the emptiness or the destruction or the, I don't know, whatever it is that they don't want people to see. So they want to shine the light on other people and do different things like that. So yeah, man, it's not really about you. So forgive, move on, move forward. The Lord will deal with that. He's clear about when people plot against his people, what happens. So he's real clear about it. Now for real, y'all, that is all I have to say on that. I want y'all to have a good day. Y'all be safe and God bless.
Do you want greater success and satisfaction in your career? Do you have ideas that you desire to contribute? Then it's time to invest in you. Imagine you building and managing a high-performance team, managing conflict and difficult conversations, understanding financial management and budgeting, creating and implementing strategic plans, building and maintaining relationships with stakeholders. Our programs are designed and tailored for individuals seeking to grow and succeed in their leadership roles. UCDI's Change the Narrative Progressive Leadership is a mid-level leadership program designed specifically to develop the skills and knowledge necessary to take on greater leadership responsibilities in a sustainably scalable format. So, if you're tired of seeing ineffective processes, unhealthy work distribution, lack of follow-through and accountability, and you want to be an answer for yourself and for your team, then this is the program for you. Contact UCDI Leadership at info@ucdileadership.com or text LEADERSHIP to 214-717-5921. The future depends on many things, but mostly it depends on you.
Stop. I want it. I got it. 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 I want it. I got it.